There are plenty of rivalries throughout sports and history that generate a lot of conversation. Broncos and Raiders, Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon, Avalanche and the New Jersey Devils. But no rivalry has more hatred and dislike for each other than the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals. Today, we renew another chapter this afternoon. And what a way to kick off Week 8 with two teams that had a frustrating start to the year, to say the least. The Bengals only have 2 wins coming into this game. The Steelers have been on a bit of a hot streak with their 23-9 victory over the Colts last week in Heinz Field. The Steelers will be going on the road to Paul Brown Stadium this afternoon to take on Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. As we take a look at the uniform preview, the Bengals will be flaunting the all-black look for the second Sunday in October. And the Steelers will be bringing their road jerseys to this game. A lot of fun divisional matchups that we're going to come and tap today. At 2:30 Eastern will be the Colts and Texans for the AFC South. And tonight on NBC, Sunday Night Football, which will be Patriots and Bills. First time they were met on Sunday night since 2007. Giants and Cowboys was going to be the original game, but that was moved due to the fact that the Cowboys are winless, and the whole match would have been just one-sided. In fact, speaking of the Giants-Cowboys, that game's actually getting ready to kick off over in Dallas as well, so you're going to see some updates there throughout the day. And going back to this rivalry, when I say these two teams do not like each other, there is some serious beef between these two teams.
And we're getting set for an AFC North matchup as we join you from Paul Brown Stadium.
See the 2015 wildcard game when Perfect, when it looked like he was going to win, basically put the team on his back with an interception. However, he kills Antonio Brown, and the entire game goes nuts. The likelihood of that happening today could be very, very high. A lot of emotion. Possibility for things to get a little chippy at certain times of the day. And we're about to get this party started. We'll pass 2 o'clock locally. The Bengals won the toss and will be elected to receive. Tate back deep to return. Boswell kicks it off. We are underway from Cincinnati. And Dupree blows up Tate already. What a shot. Heard that from the parking lot. And out comes the Red Rifle himself, Andy Dalton, who has really been the leader that they've looked for since the days of Palmer. Or I would say even the days of Kitna, but Kitna wasn't that good. As the Bengals set up in a strong line with Giovanni Bernard behind him. Handoff to the middle, and that goes nowhere. The ball is stripped. Jones, the big fella, takes it at the 18. And the Steelers, out comes the esteemed leader, Ben Roethlisberger. One of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, from the 2004 NFL draft. The same draft that had Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning. What a way. I tell you what. 2 rings at the start of his career. Super Bowl 40, 43. And that's a lot of credit to his name. As we look at the offensive line, and the Steelers could easily have two of the best offense in the league, rivaling Denver when you got guys like Marcus Wheaton, Hayward Bay, Ladarius Green, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. There's a flag on the play already. Bell gets tripped up, and somebody went after. See what the flag is here. Ouch! It was Ramon Foster who was called for holding there. As we try to look at the replay here, unless we can't get a.
But after the play on the ground, that brings up second down.
Second and 15 from the Bengals 23 after the fumble. As that pass got batted down, looked like by Dunlap. As we look at the Bengals defense, and that man right there, number 55. When you have comparisons to Bill Romanowski, a lot of talent, but very charged up. Gets very charged up easily to make some really nasty hits. It's really a thing you have to pay attention for when you're trying to control your defense. As Wheaton was there on the stop, as Drake Kirkpatrick was there, Wheaton was there with the catch.
Set up and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
That was a shot there. Smart move. Good way to convert on a 3rd and 15.
The offense back to the line after the completion.
As the Steelers are now at the 7. They need 7 more to score. As the handoff. Le'Veon trips. Uses the tacklers, but he gets knocked back by Kirkpatrick.
As a defender, you make the tackle. But when you
As Dunlap was a little slow getting up there.
That drives you crazy over time because what you want is just a clean tackle, put him on the ground. But that doesn't seem to happen with this running back. And now it's 2nd and goal.
Le'Veon, left side. Touchdown, Steelers. You knew sooner or later they were going to capitalize on that fumble by Bernard. Very first play from scrimmage. Dalton was getting his ass chewed on the sideline, it looked like.
So here comes the extra point.
As Boswell comes out, getting ready for 7. Radowski kicks it.
Then he adds the point after.
And that is the extra point.
If you busy cutting on what I got, in your door is what you got.
Is Boswell. Nice little line drive to Tate. Who gets hit? Sheds Harrison. He's brought down to 33. First and 10 from the Cincinnati 33. Bengals are in a weak eye formation. Dalton from the gun. Fires right side to Bernard. As there's a gain of 6. As we look at the Bengals offense, who surprisingly has a little bit of toys as well. You got guys like Tyler Eifert, Brandon LaFell. When you got a steady-handed leader like Dalton, all I can say is you can do some damage. Second down and 4. This could be a short 4 here. As this will hand off to Mr. Bernard. As he gets slammed. Not sure if he got anything there.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys in my vintage, remember his
As you look for the Steelers defense. And one word really comes to mind.
One more stop here on third after the run.
The line. When you got a guy like James Harrison, the guy that took a huge pick 6 in the Super Bowl against Arizona, Bernard gets the first.
That was a key play right there. A missed opportunity by the defense to get off the field on third down. We all knew they were going to run the ball, yet they were unable to stop it.
It's a small gain there.
So it'll be first down.
First and 10 from the Steelers 47. Update from the game in Dallas on Fox. The Cowboys struck first blood. They are wearing their cursed blue jerseys. A thing that Cowboys fans claim that anytime they're in blue, they lose. Usually in pretty epic fashion. They're looking to change that around today. In Dallas, colors there on their blue jerseys there is because the Giants brought their color rush threads. As Dalton, empty pocket, empty man by himself. Hayward trying to go deep, and he is tipped, incomplete.
He did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football.
It was, could tell that was meant for. Guess we'll say LaFell was supposed to get the tip on that, the catch on that one. Like, that had visions of Brandon Stokely's catch.
On third. Shotgun formation.
There, the shotgun. Dalton hit, dumped it to Eifert for a gain of 6.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but you keep chipping away at it.
Definitely a solid shot there. See, Eifert was able to break off his route. You always love going for those big receivers. You love doing that every time they take off downfield. I mean, there's times that big tight ends right there. It's like at a carnival, you get those little big targets up there, like towards the top. But you have the little small ducks at the bottom that you have to get to as well. I mean, whatever works. The punting unit finally on the field. Huber going to punt it out of bounds at the 22. So no return from the explosive speedster and Antonio Brown. First down and 10 for the 22. By the way, the touchdown from the Cowboys game was done by Welker, who was acquired in a off free agency a few weeks ago. Roethlisberger gets slammed to the deck for a huge loss. He was trying to roll out to the right. As second and 18 here in Cincinnati. As first quarter is over, Marcus Wheaton is there for a big catch. Le'Veon Bell with a nice little jaunt in the end zone. Sniffing up. See Giovanni Bernard trying to sniff on some people. And that was about 1:15 this afternoon when all the players were on the sidelines. Going back here to Cincinnati. As it seems to be the battle of who has the better defense, but you never know. We haven't seen much of anything from the Cincinnati offense, especially since I think the Giovanni Bernard fumble early on kind of really punched Cincinnati in the balls. As Le'Veon, handoff, Right side. He's going to shed the secondary. Look at, and he gets brought down by Loka. That almost could have been huge right there. Look at that. He could have kept going right there, but Loka was just waiting for him right there. As first and 10 from the Steelers 41.
And a nickelback on the field for the D. And the QB's calling something out.
That play action to Le'Veon. Rolls to his right. And he's scrambling.
And picks up some nice
Great rush by Roethlisberger. That man can do it all. He's a do-all quarterback. He can run. He can be deep in the pocket. And he can also do that. The dude's big. Roethlisberger, 2nd and 1. Fires it to intercepted Kirkpatrick. He had a pick 6 last week against New England. Their defense could be for real here. And speaking of Kirkpatrick's performance last week, all you have to do is watch how crazy that was. Very similar play, too, where Brady was trying to fire his pass to Edelman to try to get some momentum to his favor. Roethlisberger's just trying to go to his fastest guy, and he didn't even look. He just shot to Antonio Brown and said, "Here you go." Croft goes in motion. Bernard, right side.
He's got some yards.
And he's down at the 43. Gain of about 4.
I think you're truly something special.
2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6. The Bengals are in a weak eye formation. LaFell. Bernard handoff as he gets tripped. We're getting about 1.
The defense did a good job continuing to run there and holding them to a short game.
Third and 5 for Cincinnati, trying to make a little magic happen. Dalton in the gun. Fires it. What a catch by Eifert. Wow. Leaping into the air like Randy Moss. Watch this. Up in the air, jumps over Ryan Shazier of all people. Amazing catch. Is there in the Pittsburgh 48.
First down here after the completion.
Wow.
The defense is going with the
Dalton.
corners.
Empty eye. Dalton. Empty man himself.
From the shotgun.
Defense in the quarters. As it is LaFell with the catch.
Good throw. Receiver got his shot, and it's a touchdown.
As it was Mitchell. There, bring it down. Marvin Lewis looking on. We've hit the 2-minute warning here today in Pittsburgh. Bit of an update to the Dallas game. The Giants have tied the Cowboys up. Seattle and Tampa kicking off at 2:30. here in Week 8. The
They're going to look to throw.
Tampa has currently lost been on a pretty heavy losing skid, and Seattle is in contention for the second bye. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. Second and 10.
First, let's see what second down has in store.
The 38.
Empty backfield.
Moats moving up.
Shotgun snap.
Trying to grip it with the lineman. There's Court. And Cockrell, big shot at the 9. Good play right there. It was Gay that was there on the stop.
You a bad bitch, come and get your ring paid. I got time for no drama, but today to day. And my watch gotta be Presidente. Coming with me, I don't care what your friends say. Car, automatic, I don't whip it if it's average. And my bitch got status, and your bitch cost up.
The offense back to the line after the completion for first.
They're in the red zone. They need 9 to convert.
Shotgun formation.
McCullers, no idea what he was doing. It was Eifert who breaks the plane for Cincinnati.
Damn, and you niggas ain't worthy. She gon' kiss on my dick like a Hershey. But it's so deep, she like, baby, don't hurt me. Fucking rap is an athlete, she need a jersey. Always in the club.
After line that last score, the defense knows they've got to tighten things up. Otherwise, they'll let them right back into the game.
Yeah, it was great play, great not coverage by the defense, great play by the Bengals to get to that tight end. Definitely interesting to see how that goes.
And the extra point attempt forthcoming.
As they get ready for the extra point. McCarron, place kicker, and the Bengals tie it up. Who remembers my last tournament when the Browns just blew the piss out of Cincinnati? And nearly beat Minnesota, too, with RG3. Who remembers that?
Everyone getting lined up.
Game tied 7-all. 1:22 left. This time, Wheaton is going to return this one. And down to 26.
Get on first down.
First and 10 from the 26. Roethlisberger in the pocket. Strikes it to Wheaton as they get the first down pretty easily as Monaluga was there.
Zone coverage was red on that play. They immediately found the right routes
That
to
one.
run in order to defeat it.
Minute left here and before we get to halftime. The game is currently sitting at 7-all.
So first down here after the completion. And the defense coming out this time in the different.
Brown.
He's barking out some instructions. The snap.
Roethlisberger drops back. Fires. Bullet. This time it is Brown that makes a huge catch at the 39.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the
They're going to do it
area.
again.
Catches a snap out of the gun.
Drops in the gun. Roethlisberger is going to torque it. Incomplete.
Thanks to very good coverage by the defense. Incomplete pass as the secondary is able to hold strong.
It was launched beautifully in the right place, just out of reach.
That snow in
Well, that was interesting. Alrighty.
Second down now after the
Second and
incompletion.
10 from the 17.
receivers really stacked up on this play. From the gun.
There's 14 seconds. Roethlisberger scrambles, sidearm Mahomes style, touchdown Pittsburgh.
For the touchdown. So the quarterback able to keep the play alive with his feet and then have the poise to make the touchdown pass.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one totally. Not just the poise, but being able to keep his eyes downfield because often when quarterbacks
What a play right there. That was like
Not in
Mahomes
this case,
style
he's
sidearm
moving
throw
around,
right
keep the
there.
play alive to find an open receiver. Bingo.
Look at that. So we're going for the
And
PAT.
now for the point after.
And wonder what Mr. Dalton's going to do to respond to that huge score for
And the
Cincinnati
extra point kick is good.
as the Steelers take the lead back to make it a 14-7 game. So, there we go.
And everyone is lined up for the kickoff.
Boswell is going to do a nice little lob to Pac-Man Jones, the guy who totally doesn't look like Waka Flocka Flame, as he sheds a tackle and ends up at 32. 6 seconds left. And I swear to God, I couldn't even tell who did it better, Adam Pac-Man Jones or Waka Flocka Flame. As he goes for a Hail Mary to tie it, he's going to have 3 men to his left, 1 to his right. Last play before half. Dalton in the gun. Fires deep, and it is batted away. As the first half ends, and it's been a pretty okay game between these two teams.
We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain.
The Steelers are up by 7.
This is the NFL on EA Sports.
As you look at Roethlisberger scrambling, doing a crazy Mahomes-style throw to hit Marcus Wheaton in the end zone. You see Le'Veon Bell hotboxing his way to the end zone. Red Rifle hits Core for a pretty solid gain. Then Roethlisberger fires it deep to Antonio Brown for a massive reception, and albeit a nice reception too.
Number 2, let's take a quick look at the numbers from the first half.
Reminder later today over on CBS, that game's actually underway right now. The Colts and Texans out at Energy Stadium. Kevin Harlan is calling that one. You see Wheaton takes it off. He's at the 33. So we're getting ready for the Steelers to come out for the first drive of the second half.
Money got a pal, I could buy island real shit. I ain't never been a liar. Welcome to.
And on 1st and 10 now.
He drops in the gun, way back. Fires a crazy pass to Ladarius Green as he's down at the 40.
Yardage is gained on the play.
Nothing.
And those are the types of catches in the NFL that you love to see being received. Going up, grabbing the football.
And this is what teams count on in the passing game. The athleticism of the guys out wide making plays downfield.
Smart play that could possibly set up a big run for the Steelers. The Steelers as Joe Nix offside. And that went over. Perfect there on the stop. Wow. I talked about this earlier. His playing style is kind of similar to Romanowski, if you really think about it. I mean, he hits hard, he hits big, but he is not afraid to get dirty. He's done some stupid stuff and finds that only rival him, short of, deliberately breaking somebody's shoulder on live television. Perfect, to me, he's the type of guy you hate unless he's on your team. Actually, God, I think the Bengals even hate him. 3rd down and 8 for the Steelers. They crack further into their rival territory. And Steelers set up shop, 3rd and 8. Scrambling right side. Fires deep. Incomplete. It was the 3rd down back, Williams, who's there on the stop. As they're trying to probably go for a punt here.
The defense holds
You see
serve
Barry.
there on the incompletion, and now the special teams unit out for the punt.
And punt this one, try to trap the Bengals,
And a fair catch being called.
as he did. Sort of. I mean, I guess if you can call trapping him in the 13, so they're on red zone. They're in their own red zone, which counts.
And on
First down 10, the Bengals are in a weak eye formation.
Strong
Handoff Bernard.
formation give.
Okay, strong eye formation.
So a nice chunk of
It looked
yardage
weak
there
because
before
tight
he's
end
taken
was
down the
clear
ground.
out in the parking lot.
These are not the runs that you worry about early in the game. These are runs that you're establishing now for later in the game. Trying to wear a defense down.
2nd and 3 at
create
the
holes
20.
that you'll exploit later.
With
And the
2:55
offense
left
still
in
has
the
a couple
quarter.
plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3.
Jones moving around. Dalton dropping way back. Fires it deep. And it's caught by LaFell, but he drops into the end sideline. Incomplete. One day,
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the
3rd
offense
and
draws up here
3.
on
This should be a
3rd.
short one here for Mr. Timmons.
They'll try the passing game
As they're
again.
going again to the air. As it's A.J. Green. Haven't heard much from him today.
Simple slant route, and it works.
Give him the ball, and he turns into a speedster that only rivals a guy like Ed McCaffrey. He's a speedster, but he's also really durable, to say the least.
The offense back to the line of the
As they're
completion.
back to the line, 1st and 10.
And some extra help in the defensive secondary here as they drive.
Somebody is ready to make a play here, I have a feeling. Playing man. Here's to the right, handoff to Bernard,
Moving up the middle.
and that goes for about 3.
They're snuffed out quickly.
Textbook defense. Nowhere to go for the runner. They get there. They make the tackle.
As they're at the 37.
2nd down following the run.
Bengals 37 as they continue to move further into Pittsburgh territory.
Shotgun snap
Dalton
here.
trying to move around in the pocket, goes for a
And
pass in the
came up
flat,
short.
but Bernard steps out of bounds,
Whether you
incomplete.
deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always
Honestly,
feels good
what
when
kind
you
of
slow
shocks
down
me
an
is the
offense.
Steelers, the Bengals side wear all black. No, they usually wear it later in the year when it's cooler and
Play number 6 of
not-
this drive.
not this clear, but really interesting. I'm
70
really
yards
surprised they still have
remaining on
enough
3rd down.
energy on offense, and the Steelers in white.
They'll operate from the gun.
As Davis blows up Dalton.
For the sack.
Wow. Let's get a replay on that. Watch Davis, 28. Sorry, that was Shazier. He's the corner. See if I can find him. There we go. So Davis, 28, white circle, breaks through, makes a big mistake, almost like he's going to make a mistake leaving his man open, but luckily towards the back of this, like, you can tell who that was, Mitchell. Either Mitchell or Coates or somebody was back there. Number 29. It was no, not looking at my ass. It was Thomas. I was looking back at him. And wow, watch this. You know, somewhere, if Von Miller is watching our game, he's probably really proud. And, a little bit of jawing from the Bengals defense. Cut to that here in a moment. See, number 28. Just watch this again. Halfway in the run. Nobody on that line picks him up. And that was a shot on Dalton.
He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he'd been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Brown back deep to return. And that was still a big hit by Dalton as we saw some people from the Steelers sideline. Is Brown. Gets a block, tries to cut in the middle, gets into the Bengals territory.
The blocking tends to increase. Guys know that they just give him a sliver, a crack, a hole. He's got a chance to take it all the way.
Minute left here in the third as the Steelers set up shop at the 28. Is the Cowboys right now getting an update from that game. They could very well upset the Giants. They're in a good position to do that. It scores currently 17-7 here in the start of the third. The Giants are getting ready to get the ball. They are setting up the 15 over in Dallas. How about Spaeth?
That's the dream. Just a moment ago, I was up so high, looking down at the sky. Don't let me fall.
So first down here after the completion.
As the Bengals set up shop here at the 28.
The play fake here.
Roethlisberger fires it to Antonio Brown, this time with no interception. Somehow that horse guard tackle was not a flag. It was Williams that was there on the stop. And you saw the replay right there. Watch this. He breaks off, goes to his route. He's wide open, then definitely a high place to grab as Antonio Brown just flops to the ground. And things were a little chippy just a few moments ago. Third quarter is ended here in Cincinnati today. 1 quarter left, and it is a defensive tug of war. Straight to the Denver game a couple weeks ago. That's literally what this game reminds me of, is when the Steelers went to Denver. It was tied up, and then obviously Dillon broke off in that huge run at the end of the game. That 68-yard quarterback scramble, if you remember that. The Broncos so far are pretty versatile on offense and defense. Speaking of the Broncos, they'll play tomorrow on Monday night against the Chargers in San Diego.
Their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
As the Steelers set up shop with the Bengals 8, hands it to Le'Veon, who scrambles for 2.
Down he goes immediately.
For some reason I thought Antonio Brown was getting the run.
And now they're in the hurry up.
As Le'Veon scrambles, dives, touchdown Pittsburgh.
It up there, oh so very high that if the top were to drop me, then I fall out the sky. I don't really know why I'm here. I guess I'm just here for the ride. I swear it feels like I'm dreaming. It's vividly defined. Yeah, so call me whatever you want, title whatever you like. But let's get one thing straight. You know my name, so I run this town when I'm on this mic. Yeah, so here I go. B.O.B. I'll be ready. I don't know.
Okay, enough for me attempting to rap. The Steelers really starting to open up their lead over Cincinnati. And tensions got a little high towards the end of the third quarter. A lot of it was just, defensive tug-of-war between the two teams. So, whatever, I guess.
I know that I float, rack 'em up, knock 'em down, dominoes. Then I go, as my story goes. I don't have done being down here before. Talk to my East Decatur.
As Boswell kicks it to not Walk a Flock of Flame as he decides to take it out and get blown up at the 13 by James Harrison.
Because I was in the cold, trying to keep my toes in the fro. Now I'm in your house, now I'm in your soul, now I'm everywhere that your eye go. Everything I seen was a dream, it's the moment ago.
This game has the potential to get really good. Obviously, Cincinnati, fresh off their upset win over New England, have a lot of confidence going against a tough team. As Dalton scrambles, and he turns into Michael Vick as he gets sacked by Hayward, a loss of 1. We had 1 sack. Cincy had 1 sack. Pittsburgh had 2. As you look at Dalton, you really see with how hot, unusually warm it's been here for mid-October in Cincinnati. I don't know why they didn't go for a little bit of white for Cincinnati. It's getting pretty hot. It's fairly warm wearing those black jerseys because white reflects heat, black absorbs it. There's something I remember from my science class. Dalton drops back, hit, and it's caught. I'm not sure if it was catchable if he got it in the end zone. Is Pittsburgh's going to throw the challenge? Really interesting to see if he's going to rule that catch. As you see AJ Green trying to manage some guys. See Tomlin sideline looking at the screen. There's a catch. He had it, and then he had a foot inbounds. And here's the 10-second verdict.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes
back
to the head coach. He has the final determination.
Apparently, Green was in the end zone there. I honestly thought he fell out of bounds as Eifert over the middle cracks Pittsburgh territory.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And I don't give up. Mama, ever that.
Oh, yeah. This could get interesting if Cincinnati could get a huge run and possibly get this game really close for Pittsburgh. Dalton in the gun, looking around, dancing in the pocket, hits LaFell, stiff arms Cockrell. As they're down to 32.
Always get to move the chains. So nice job on the quarterback to find his man open for a first down.
Abracadabra, magic master, a motherfucking doctor. Said I need a doctor, so I called house. Now I am a pure copper. Made it like skinnies, young money we winning. I told her if I change, she won't get a penny. Milking this shit, cut the bitch titties, bringing home the bacon.
Music for today's broadcast was brought to you by Tyga. Gotta do a little plug for him. And speaking of Tyga, he actually dropped some new music. Seems like every summer he drops some pretty killer bangers.
Back to the air.
Dalton, and over the middle
And the connection
to the
now
Invisible
made.
Man,
Great
incomplete.
pass.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't take anyone away. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the ball down.
Let's see what the corners will do
second and
here.
10 here.
2nd and 10
The snap from the
as he
gun.
goes from the gun, picks it up, hits in the flat.
2 yards.
Shazier slams him to the deck.
Not many yards available on that play. That makes things difficult as they try and stay ahead of the chains and pick up first downs.
Now she want a photo. Baby sitting on the bench, nigga. We don't really play every day. Fuck what anybody say. Can't say it 'cause the money in the way. Real nigga, T-ball, skinny nigga.
Yikes. Get it, man. That was like a wrestling shot.
Out of this world. Total recall. Call a bitch ride dick. Let us see sauce. I remember looking like an ass nigga. He hard. Run in the right with the
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's
Bengals
3rd
are-
down as the defense
Andy Dalton's
looks
going
for a
captain
stop.
game manager over here.
Backfield this time.
3rd and 8.
Shotgun formation.
Dalton
Goes right side.
throws it to the Invisible Man, incomplete.
pass.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
If I go this hard, by the time I'm 90, I won't need Viagra, no. Even if I had a dog, I'd be the king now, not have a ball. Better watch out when you cross my yard.
Down, and they're going to go for it.
4th and 8. This could be a last chance to go for it and possibly extend your drive. Maybe going for a touchdown. Who knows? 4th and 8. Shazier goes around, hits Dalton, and that will be it for Cincinnati.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense.
I am the spark, I am in drive, I am in talk. Look at my shot, look at the mark, look at the crowd, as soon as I saw. Look in the
Every
eyes.
alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
That was a pretty good play there by the Bengals. Valiant effort, but I have a feeling the Steelers are just going to eat up this clock as he goes into the secondary, cracks 12 yards.
Offensive line gets good push, and they pick up the first down.
And the defenders
So we've hit the 2-minute warning this afternoon in Cincinnati.
For the offense to pick up the first down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a first downs.
Over in the later half of the slate,
McCabe to Bell. To the right he goes.
as Le'Veon Bell juking
He is able
the
to
secondary.
He's off to the races.
Watch out. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Touchdown.
Get this man a new contract. Touchdown, Steelers, and you can see fans are already starting to throw stuff from the top deck.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end
As
zone.
you can tell the frustration of Cincinnati's fans. I mean, Kirkpatrick was right there. I'm surprised he didn't even try going for that dive, but your rules, I guess.
And they're just going to go for one here.
Your move, Pittsburgh.
And they cap the touchdown with the extra point.
Now when the sun come up, I'll be there to say what up in the morning.
So the lead goes to 4 touchdowns for 21 points. Time to see what Cincinnati will do to respond. They we start launching some deep balls. As Tate takes it out.
They'll take the gamble and run it out.
As he gets blown up hard. It's like Ayers was there. Robert Ayers. Remember him from playing for the Broncos. You know, days of McDaniels. Oh my God, that was a horror show.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
1st and 10. The Cincinnati 19. Dalton in the gun. Looking around. Spin move. LaFell drops it incomplete. As 2nd and 10. The Bengals, believe it or not, they may get a couple more chances after this. Unless Pittsburgh holds him with 3 and out. Dalton going to the right side. 3rd down and 3.
And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit it.
Eiffert's been having a productive day. I mean, score aside, Eiffert's been having a heck of a day.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. From the shotgun.
Mitchell sending it straight at Dalton, who left it short, incomplete. And fans are throwing stuff to the top side. It's been reprimanded by security. Over on the top side by the left scoreboard where the game camera is at. As Huber kicks it off. And Brown will try to return this one. And he goes somewhere, surprisingly. First down 10 from the Steelers 45. And off in the weak eye formation as he scrambles for 6 is Perfect. Is there. Evan, seems like he's reined in a little bit of his impact hits after this year so far. Having stands for a little bit of issues in Dallas week 3, which led to the Bengals upsetting the boys.
They'll go on the ground, and he'll try to navigate through the big
as he goes through the middle. I mean, this point, he's just grinding that run.
All game long, they've struggled to contain this runner.
It's hard to contain Le'Veon Bell to begin with, all right? He's just fast. Le'Veon over the middle, right side, trying to get a block. As the play ends at the 36. Le'Veon Bell, today he has been the only reason this, basically been the engine of this offense. That and a Marcus Beaton-Tutty reception. Clock runs out here in Pittsburgh today as they landed another win in their win column, moving them ever closer to 500 as we get possibly shake some hands here as final score today here from Cincinnati, Bengals 7 as they fall to 2-6. Their playoff hopes of trying to catch the Chargers in the wild card race continue to fall. And they fall ever so deeper.
And you know who does not like divisional losses and who loves divisional wins? Fan bases. You hear a little bit more that week if you win or you lose. The chatter starts, doesn't it?
Oh, it
And
does. Let's face it, if you're family and one team likes one likes the other, you're
we
gonna
look at some highlights today from Pittsburgh. Final score, Pittsburgh 28. They continue to add a little bit of notch to their win column. And the Bengals fall to 2-6. Next week, both of these teams will have week 9 here. The Bengals will host the Texans in the late game on CBS, and so will the Steelers. The Steelers will be going to the Bills to play at 5 o'clock Eastern over on October 28th. And then Sunday night will be Broncos and Giants. So this week, later today, we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers, possible NFC playoff match between the two. As final score from Cincinnati, Steelers 28, Bengals 7. So long, everybody.